I had to do an updated video on Mahou Arms. Like, legit, no lie, I absolutely had to. Now, I am going to take a moment here to just compare the differences between the two versions of the game. The version on the left was taken from back in October 2019. The version on the right was taken from just last week, where I recorded hours worth of footage of the game. Can you see how amazing the game looks now? How much of an improvement has been made over the last few months alone? Not only is the game significantly more stunning, I mean, you cannot deny that looking at the character models of the very same character, but the combat and animations are improved to such an extent that it almost feels like an entirely different game. But maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Maybe some of you guys don't actually know what the game is. So before I go into the array of improvements made to the game thus far, let me give you a quick rundown of what Mahou Arms is. So much like Subverse, Wildlife, and Monster Girl Island, Mahou Arms is a game aimed at players of an older demographic. The game is an action RPG combined with a dating sim, housing a variety of doll-like characters that you take control of in battle. I'm not sure the ultimate goal of the game, but from what I could tell, there are combos you can utilize much like in a Dynasty Warriors game, allowing for you to combo left-click and right-click button combinations to unleash different kinds of attacks. And from what I could tell, the combat itself was really well done. Not only was it fast and incredibly fluid, but there was both ground combat and aerial combat. I could literally just skate across the ground. I could fly up and engage people and keep them engaged in the air for 5-10 seconds straight. It was so much fun. While engaged in combat and upon taking damage, your gear begins to break down. The more damage you take, the more gear you end up losing. I made it down to 1 HP bar at a point, as I was curious what would happen when I reached it, and what I saw? Well, let's just say that each HP bar makes up approximately 25% of your gear. I will let you guys do the math there. Suffice it to say, no expense was spared on character models. This was a very interesting route for the game to take, and it definitely appeals to those of us with, I don't know, specific, I guess the best way to put this would be sophisticated, more refined tastes. The game takes inspiration from various games, including Nier Automata, Bayonetta, and Devil May Cry, but from what is available to play through in game, it is evident which game this takes most of its inspiration from. Now, there is a base that you're going to be able to operate, which will allow for you to deploy magical girls, which are actually the girls you play as on various types of missions. You'll be able to grow them and train them, research new skills and gear, build and expand the headquarters, recruit new members, and most importantly, you'll be capable of actually taking your recruits out on dates, which can potentially result in like a mutual exchange of sorts. What I did find interesting though, at least pertaining to the gameplay, was that like Nier Automata, Mahou Arms actually features various kinds of like combat game modes. There was the normal third-person action mode where you just like hack and slash and kill all the enemies, but there was also that kind of like top-down shoot 'em up style bullet hell dodging attacks and killing everything kind of game mode, which was also really interesting to play through. I was not expecting that. I don't think that was actually in the last version of the game I played. Speaking of, since my last time covering the game, there have been several updates made. Obviously, there are the graphical updates followed by the combat overhaul, which again looks incredible, but there have also been improvements to the UI, in-game fully rendered animated cutscenes and features like a mission selector, environmental scanner highlighting nearby chests and enemies, and a dynamic weather system. I have seen several cutscenes in game and they look good. Character models are just as good, if not even better, than the models you see out in the field. Plus, we get close-ups of the characters, and the two that we have available are both beautiful. Honestly, I look forward to seeing the additional magical girls that get added into the game, and hope that eventually we get to see what the main character looks like properly, since he's kind of the person that's going to be operating the entire headquarters and sending the magical girls out on missions, and it's essentially the character you're going to be playing as. We're not playing as a magical girl, I think, but don't quote me on on that. Mahou Arms is not an MMO. I'm not sure multiplayer functionality is or will ever be a thing in the game. It's unlikely, but single player RPGs are some of my favorite games. The game will feature mostly mission related content in the form of story related missions, side missions, and randomly generated missions, making sure there is always something for the player to do. This might not be the kind of game that some of you enjoy, but it looks like a lot of fun, or at the very least looks like it could be a lot of fun down the line. It is still in early development after all. There are a few maps that are currently completed, but other than animations, a few available characters, and a couple of different missions, the game is still very far from being complete. Don't get me wrong though, what is currently available in game is still really impressive, especially considering there are only like 3 different people that are working on the game. Mahou Arms is available via Patreon for subscribers who pay a fee, whether that be a one-time fee or recurring. There is a lot of potential for the game to be incredibly successful. It looks fantastic and it plays so much better than I thought it ever would. When I first tried the game out, I said that it looked very promising, but never did I think the changes to the game would be this drastic. And those changes in specific, those improvements are necessary. They are very much needed. One thing I would like to see in the game though is like some form of customization, and especially the ability to either customize or purchase additional outfits for your magical girls. Like, this is going to be a game played by people that likely want to heavily customize their characters, and I feel as though if that option is not included, it's going to be a missed opportunity. But that's just my opinion, my impressions of Mahou Arms in its current form. What do you guys think though? Let me know down in the comments below and let's talk about it. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace. Whoops. I really hit that way too often. Like, I feel like I should like move it just a little bit. I don't know.